Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, everybody, welcome back to another Friday night live stream here at Christ-Centered Ironworks. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. So glad to have you back in the shop with me. Tonight, we're actually going to be forging a candle centerpiece. It's a fairly simple design, elegant and modern. You could adapt this many different ways to suit your own purposes. I'm just going to do a simplified version of it this evening to show you what can be done. As we've got Thanksgiving coming up here soon, it's not too late. You could end up making this for your Thanksgiving centerpiece, if you will, your table centerpiece for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And if not for that, Christmas dinner, because that's right around the corner as well. As you guys noticed by the music, I'm a big fan of Christmas. I'm a big fan of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just festivities all together. I love it. I love that portion of the year. So.
We spend like a quarter of the year like focused on Christmas. It kind of starts in October because we don't do Halloween.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, it starts before then.
Yeah.
And part of the reason for that, I know a lot of people are like, oh, come on, are you kidding me? We haven't even got to Halloween yet. That's exactly the point. You should be thinking about that. If you're in sales, you should already be prepared for Christmas long before Christmas ever gets there. So coming from our craft show days, when we did a lot of craft shows and fairs, we were always 3 to 4 months ahead of any holiday season, being prepared for those holidays when they came through, whether it be Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Easter, things like that. If there was a craft show or some sort of special event going on, we'd be prepared 3-4 months in advance. So, yeah, Christmas is a big one. A lot of companies bring in, 30–40% of their income just in these 2 months alone, November through December, 25th. So yeah, so that's where that comes from. But thank you all for being here. Again, we're going to be working on this candle centerpiece here in just a little bit. A couple things to talk about before we get started on that. We will be doing our Great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway live stream in December. Jessica has the dates for that linked up down in the description down below. So be sure to click on those links and set the reminder, put the bell icon on for the notifications and things like that. We got a lot of great things coming and planned for that, a lot of great tools that will be given away during our Christmas giveaway live stream. So be sure to get in on that. With that being said, tonight is a giveaway live stream. So we'll be giving away one more Holland Anvil Swage block. This makes the 11th Swage block that we've partnered with Holland Anvil to give away this year. So super excited about that. So that'll be coming up here real soon, later on this evening. So I hope everybody will get a chance to participate in that. Also, we have some tongs here that we're going to be giving away this evening. We can go to camera number 2, Jessica.
All right.
I'll showcase it off. These tongs we've bought with your guys' support, everybody who's supported us with Super Chat money and membership money. That's went to buy these tongs in, and we bought these from Ken's Custom Iron, and we're going to end up giving some of these away. We're going to have a bolt jaw tong to give away, a regular flat jaw tong, and a slot jaw tong blank set to give away. So these are a set, so you will have to knock them together and make them to suit yourself. But we'll be giving three lucky people. We'll be going away with some of these. And then, we can go back to the main cam.
Okay.
We will also be giving away some sticker packs with the Year of the Swage block on it, the coveted Year of the Swage block sticker pack. And we'll be giving that away to a few lucky people as well in the stream. And those are provided to us by the great and wonderful Dana Maggiore. Can't thank him enough. So, that's enough of me waffling on about that for a second. Who do we have here, Jessica, in the chat?
We have David Prathner, Brian Bean, Rob Huff.
Hello.
Gabriel Sanchez, James Anderson, Alex Pittman, Wayne Heights.
Hello, everybody. Good to have you in the house this evening. The Forge, the shop.
Thomas sent a $5 super chat, says, want to be the first one to super chat.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you beat Stephen Watkins.
You are the first, Thomas. Thank you.
Preconius asks, can I win this Swage block with delivery to Poland?
So the Swage block is a US-based only giveaway item. Anything else is international. So we will ship out the tongs anywhere in the world, but the Swage block, unfortunately, is only United States only. Would like to do more than that, but the shipping is absolutely insane, and we don't make that much on YouTube to be able to afford to do that. So sorry to all my international friends. Trust me, it is not that I don't want to include you all in great big giveaways like this. It's just internationally it's very prohibitive, cost prohibitive right now. So I apologize.
Jeff Gunung, yes, we have had live streams about business in the past. That's been about 3 years ago. We also have an entire playlist called The Business of Blacksmithing, in which you can find out all kinds of things you want to know if you are interested in forging for a living. Yep,
we had an entire 3 minutes at 3 playlist series. It had 100 videos in there, all roughly about 3 minutes long, talking about all sorts of things business related. So be sure to check out those playlists. Most of them are evergreen. As in they are all relevant as of right now, as they were when we put them out about 3 years ago, wasn't it? 2-3 years ago now?
Yeah, 3.
It's been?
3, because we moved 2 years ago.
3 years,
so.
3+ years. So we stopped them like the year before we even bought this place. So yeah, almost 4 years now. We're going back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but check out those playlists. What else, Jess?
Travis Grimm says, finally caught a live stream. Good to have you, Travis.
Well, good to have you. Good to have
Sharon
you.
Martin, good to have you too. Dan Speck says, thanks for doing this, Roy and Jess. My first live stream. Great watching how well you two do this together.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you here and welcome. And you're very welcome. We're glad to do it. I love to instruct, I love to teach, and I love giving things away. So that's kind of those are my things. So real quick, let's go to camera number 2, Jess.
All right.
I'm going to talk about the piece of steel that I'm using here. So I am using a piece of basically 1-inch square material and roughly, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches long. The length doesn't really matter. You just need to do whatever looks right to you. So that's roughly 25 mil square by whatever 6 to 8 inches is in metric. So you guys can work that out for yourselves down in the comment section down below. But basically, so this is what we're going to be using. This is our base of our candle thing. Like I said, this is going to be a modern or a very contemporary design. It's meant to just sit heavy on the table. What you don't want is you don't want a thin piece of stock to try this with. If it's fairly thin material or too lightweight, things can tip. So you do want this to be basically a square if you can. You don't want this to be a rectangle to where you've got a lot of height to it to where it can flop over. That's a bad thing considering you're going to be lighting fire up here and you don't want it to flip over and light a tablecloth on fire or something like that. So you do want this to be fairly stout. So it just needs to be a chunk of material that sits nicely and is not going to be capable of tipping over once you have flame going on up there. So other than that, that's our starting thing. So we're going to get this thing nice and hot, and I'm going to go ahead and do some hammer texturing on this piece and a few other things, and then I'll go into how we're going to make the candle sit on this. So I'll get that hot. It's going to take a little bit for that 1 inch to come up to heat. So we'll have some time to talk. My favorite thing to do. Talk. Time to talk.
A baguette with a computer says, what's some advice on making coat hooks?
What's the what?
Advice on making coat hooks.
Advice on making coat hooks. Best advice I can give on making coat hooks is, well, two things. Two things on making coat hooks. The first thing, don't make coat hooks sharp or too small. So you don't want them to be thin or really tight barred stuff. Coat hooks should have fairly broad and smooth edges to them. Make them as big as reasonably possible with them. Think about smooth surfaces, because the last thing you want is a guest to hang up a really nice coat. Maybe it's got some silk fabric in it and you've got some little blacksmithed raw rough edge on it snagging that silk and tearing up the inside of their coat, right? It depends on what kind of coats you're hanging up. If they're just your coats and you don't have really nice things, like I don't have really nice things, so I couldn't really care less about that. It's fine to have little sharper edges, but watch the sharp edges. So that's number one on that. Number two advice about coat hooks in general is your mounting. Pay attention to how this coat hook or coat rack is going to be mounted to the wall. That is one of the biggest downsides of a coat rack, like little tiny coat hooks, small coat hooks, is if you don't have a good enough anchor in there, when you hang a big heavy coat, like for instance mine, I don't have it over here, I have a coat that weighs nearly 10 pounds. So when you hang it on there and someone comes in and they shove it out of the way, it's got to resist those torquing forces on that little tiny hook, that's on there. So finding a way to dispersing the load on the wall or making sure it's really good and anchored into a stud is critical. So that's my advice on those. One last one, third, this is a freebie. Be careful of the material you coat the coat hook with. A lot of times we like to coat stuff with, natural finishes like oil finishes or wax finishes, but that might spell disaster if it's something that can rub off onto someone's jacket, right? Mm-hmm. Be careful of that. A lot of times coat racks, it's best to just paint them with clear coat and leave it at that. Because if you have a really nice jacket, something that's, tan in color or something like that, and you hang it up, and it gets to rub in there, and all of a sudden it's got a dark black spot on it because it rubbed off some oil onto the piece. So, yeah, there you go. There's your 3 pieces of advice about coat hooks.
Tim Steelheimer says, what is the best starting hammer to use?
Best starting hammer to use is the one that fits you the best. So what do I mean by that? The hammer handle should feel comfortable in your hands, so you should be able to grip it comfortably. It should not be too big, like you're grabbing a tree trunk, and it shouldn't be too small to where you're trying to grip a needle. It needs to be just right for your hands where you're not under tension when you're holding it in your hands. The weight of the head should be appropriate for the amount of work that you can do as far as swinging the hammer all day long. I prefer a lightweight hammer. My daily driver of a hammer is a 1 3/4 pound cross peen hammer. And this has been my daily driver now for going on a decade strong now, about 10 years. So this is my everyday hammer. I do switch up to a larger hammer if needed for driving a drift or something, but very seldom. Or if I get up into heavy bar stock like this, where I would need to maybe draw it out by hand, I might move up to a 3-pound hammer. And that's all I care to work with. It works with my style, my particular swing of the way that I swing my hammers to work with a lighter weight hammer. So the best starting hammer is the one that best fits you and your body mechanics. Now as far as style, you can go with whatever you want under the sun. None of them are better versus the others. They are just all different styles and shapes for doing different types of work. Do not be buffaloed into the one-size-fits-all hammer or the one style is the best out of them all sort of thing. You'll have people tell you garbage that rounding hammers, they're the go-to for all professionals. That's garbage. It's garbage. Professional shops should be properly equipped and outfitted with a whole variety of hammers to suit their work, not just one big 4-pound lunk of steel. Same thing, big gigantic cross peen. That's just no. You need to have a variety of hammers, and you'll know what those are as you stay with the craft longer. But generally, a 2-pound hammer for a beginner, that's a good middle road range to start with of your styling choice. Try them all.
Dylan King sent a $5 super chat and said, what type of post drill is that back behind the forge? I just started getting into restoring those and picked up a Buffalo Forge number 61.
I do not know what type of post drill it is. I should know. Let's see here. What's it say here? This is a Champion blower and forge company. It's made in Manchester, USA. Manchester, PA, USA. So that's what type of style it is. I bought that years ago off of Master Smith up in Pepin, Wisconsin, named Tom Latney. So, and he was trading it out for a much bigger unit, and so I bought that one from him.
Very cool. See, Rob Huff, I once saw Roy using a rounding hammer. He saw it. You wrote that last part in really big.
No.
Brian Bean before that had said, I'm getting ready to make a rounding hammer. Going to be a lot of fun without a power hammer.
Yep, probably will be. Oh. Yeah, my main general thoughts, this thing's almost a heat. We'll pull it out here in a second. My main thoughts about hammers of any type, and this has shifted. Of course, I have my own preferences for myself, but my whole concept around tooling has shifted as I've grown in the craft over the years. Jessica and I were just talking about this earlier today. My perspectives have shifted since I've been in the craft almost 15 years now. I'm coming up on 15 years, my 15-year anniversary of being in this craft. And with that, those perspectives have shifted away from tooling. I used to think that a power hammer, I would just be a great smith if I had a power hammer. Oh man, if I had a power hammer. Power hammer, that's the best. That's the tool. That's the ticket. And it's just not. I have a power hammer. I turned it on 3 times this week, and I haven't used that power hammer in probably 3 months. Just because my work doesn't oftentimes cross paths with needing a power hammer to do the work that is required for me. So it really it's just a tool. It's one more tool in your tool bag, and instead of you having one singular wrench in your toolbox, it's good to have all sizes of wrenches in sizes and shapes and angles and whatever, so you can fix stuff. That's what we're doing as blacksmiths. We're problem solving. So why would you limit yourself on the scope of your tools to address those problems, to solve problems in your workflow? So yeah, get whatever type of hammers you like, your tongs you like, try them all out. Because I can give you my recommendation, my personal recommendation, and you'll get it, and something will be like, I don't know, and then you'll try something else out that somebody else recommends. Does that mean my suggestion was wrong? No, it's just wrong for you. You might like something else and it feels a little bit better to you, and that's perfectly okay. So just add the tools to your toolbox is more important, especially as you're beginning, as a beginner smith. Focus on your techniques more than your tools.
David Prathner, yes, we have an online store. Originally, we started off selling on Etsy, and then I ended up adding our own website as well, www.christcentered.ironworks.com. Hayden LaBelle says, would you say that YouTube was a major contributor in your success as a craftsman?
Not at all. Nope. So YouTube, I get this all the time because I'm more well known on YouTube. And the reason why I'm more well known on YouTube is because there's a lot of eyeballs on me in YouTube. I was a successful blacksmith long before I ever started YouTube. I had a thriving business before I started YouTube, and I mean, I was pushing 100K a year in forging, which is a lot, and that's thousands of items and pieces going out through the door. I was doing everything from production work to custom commissions and orders, railings and gates and fireplace screens and you name it. I was doing just a little bit of just about everything. Anything that came in the door, plus all my production work as well. So I was a successful blacksmith long before I did YouTube. So as far as the contributing factor to the business or my skills as a blacksmith, the majority of my skills came long before YouTube. Now, with that being said, YouTube, like any teaching position, you learn more when you teach because you need to know enough about it yourself than when you just simply do, right? Because you pick up bad habits that maybe you didn't know you had or things of that nature, as where when you're trying to instruct somebody, you're analyzing your every move. So this way you can break it down for someone else, right? You're like, okay, I've always just brought it out and went like this. And then someone asks you, well, why are you holding your hammer that way? Or why are you holding your tongs that way? And it makes you have to stop and actually think about what you're doing. Versus when you're just making something for someone else that needs to get out the door because they need it like yesterday, you're not thinking about why you're doing it. You just know it works, right? You just know it works. You're just trying to get it done and get it out the door and move on to your next job that's on your client list. And so I would say that it has helped me with my presentation and with my teaching, my ability to teach and present. YouTube has helped me out a ton with that. And all the 1,600 plus videos that we've produced, I've become not so shabby at the whole filming and editing process too. So I would say that there. One of the biggest things that it's helped me with now is, getting gigs, right? Getting gigs with people to teach. Opportunity now to teach others because, they say, oh, well, who do you, somebody's having a club meeting and they're like, well, who would you all like to have come teach a class for us or demonstrate at a conference? And if my name comes up a bunch, well, guess what? It's because I'm out there, because people know me from YouTube and so on and so forth, and then that's how I get connected. When I was just working full-time, 70, 80, 90 hours a week, doing nothing but my production work and just my custom commission work, I was a nobody in the blacksmithing realm. You would have never known my name through anywhere. I only knew like 8 people at that time, right? And only 8 people knew me because I wasn't there for other blacksmiths. I was there for my clients and my clientele list. So big difference. Great question, though. That's a great question.
How's the metal?
Huh?
It's hot.
Yeah, the metal's hot. Let's go to the anvil cam real quick. So the point of this is to be a nice and sleek. Since we're working 1-inch bar stock, I'm going to get this hot. I want it to be really nice and hot while I work it. We don't want to play around with this being at a dull red or a bright orange. We want it a nice yellow temperature. I'm putting a bevel down both sides of this. I'll flip it. I might have to get this hot again, finish this out. The hotter you work large stock like this, the easier it is for you to work it. That's another thing people talk about, larger hammers. Well, I can move more material with a larger hammer. Oftentimes you see them using that larger hammer to hammer cold material. I don't like working myself to death against cold material. I like working the material hot. If you guys will hold on just a sec, I am going to try to adjust this to more accurate color temp. That's about right. All right, put that back in there. That means I'll have to brighten some other things up, but let me move some things around here. Questions, Jess? Comments? Concerns?
Yes. Rob Huff says, speaking of teaching, Roy will be hosting a class next weekend at the GTHS School of Blacksmithing near Cincy, Ohio.
Yes, I will. So I will actually be teaching making luminaries, forged luminaries. Mm-hmm. Basically, things that illuminate your house and room, focused mainly around candles. So let me grab a piece here real quick. Mm-hmm. This is the main subject that will be taught in the class. Can they see that on the main cam?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Can they see that all right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be making a candelier, as it was once called. That's a historical reference before chandeliers came about. Chandelier is a much a later term for the same thing. Once they started converting to gas lighting and multiple legs, more than just 3. So light that up. Can they see that all right?
Yeah, that looks good.
So we'll be making one of these, or a couple of these, who knows? We'll see how the class goes. And so that's the main focus of the class. Also some tea light mason jar candle holders and things like that. And that'll all be down in Goshen, Ohio, at the Goshen Blacksmithing School there. You can let Rob drop that link down in the description or down there in the comments, Rob, if you will. I think he's a mod, ain't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could get with Jamie Geyer over there at Goshen and get signed up. There's only a few spots left. So if you have any interest, get in on that. This last chance for that.
Kevin Trusty says, Roy, do you ever do classes around Detroit?
The closest thing I come to Detroit is Goshen, Ohio. It's about 100 miles outside of Detroit. I'm not a big fan of Detroit myself, but if there was an opportunity to teach there, then I probably would.
Frank Strock says, Roy, we enjoyed your presence at the 2018 RABA conference.
Well, thank you, Frank. I enjoyed being there. That was a fun conference. Really great group of guys, the RABA guys are. Really great group of guys. And gals, I'm sure. I didn't see that many gals there, part of the club, but I know it was a great group of guys, anyhow, that were there.
Messy Laura has a question for me. She says, how did you get started doing your craft work? Was it because of Roy, or were you already a crafter? Since childhood, I always enjoyed arts and crafts, and I don't know, I was kind of doing things here and there, and then I started getting into doing some metal embossing about the time Roy got into blacksmithing, and I only did that for like 2 years. And then here more recently, I was looking for a crossover hobby that I could use some of his metalworking tools, and that's where I came across metal enameling. Mm-hmm. So, yep. Rob Huff says, "'Tis the season. Did you preheat your anvil so you don't crack it open?"
Oh, Lord. Nope. I'm hoping to crack Olga open and find her soft nougaty center that's in there. So find the hollow spot. I haven't found her yet. He's trying to get me off onto a rant there. Oh.
Yep.
Ay, ay, ay.
Brian Bean, he says, "That's awesome. Do you travel to do demonstrations? If so, I'll have to catch you at one."
Yes, I do. I travel around to do different demonstrations for conferences or blacksmithing clubs or associations that'll have me. So if you're interested in having me come teach in your neck of the woods, you just have to get with your local organization and tell them that you want me there. That's it. Get enough people who want to assign for that, and we'll travel. So within reason. I do about... I'm limiting myself next year to the amount of places I'm going to be spending outside of basically my home state here, just because I need to get some work done on the barn here, the shop, and some other maintenance type deals that I need to focus on right around here, right around home. So I'm going to be limiting some of my travel next year. But before last year, I was traveling, I did about 6 to 8 events. So generally on top of everything else I do, but I did about 6 to 8 different events a year on that. So again, willing to travel, just has to be, people just have to have the interest. There you go.
E1000SN says, "How did you develop your business past the hobbyist stage? Was there a clear line, and was it a specific goal, or did you stumble into it?"
I got kicked into it by necessity. So generally, we were, long before we did blacksmithing full time, we were eBay resellers. So, and that started with Jessica. And I was still working heating and air conditioning work at the time, and she wanted to do this thing. She got this book that was all about eBay flipping, how you could take something and buy it for cheaper and then sell it for more on eBay. And I was like, that sounds like a scam, you know, one of those sort of deals. I'd never heard of such a thing at that point.
You didn't do computers at all.
In fact, I didn't touch computers at all. Literally did not touch computers since grade school at all. Never touched one. And I wouldn't even go to the library and look up a book through a computer. I'd have somebody else do that for me. So at that time, we got into it. Jessica got into the eBay flipping. She flipped some items just that were in our own house that we weren't using anymore. And I don't know, she made like $500-600 in a week. And I'm like, oh, what? Hey, what about this eBay flipping thing? So we got started into that originally. And slow but sure, I started doing blacksmithing. I started seeing that, hey, there's a good possibility that this thing that I love to do, I could do this. I could make a living at this thing. And at that point, I had luckily sold a few generic things around town, family, friends kind of thing, and some on eBay. I sold a few items on eBay. And basically, I didn't go full time until I ended up having a car wreck. I had a car wreck that messed up my back, and it took me about 6 months to recover from. So I didn't go back to my original vocation. And, well, long story short, I got hosed out of all sorts of stuff, workman's comp and insurance and things like that. I got the raw end of the deal. So had to find a way to pay the bills somehow. So through doing odd jobs with a good friend of mine, Richard Krim, he helped me out a ton, giving me remedial tasks that I could work on, you know, to supply my family with food. And while I kind of built the business. And heck, he even let me use his dad's garage for anytime I needed a welder or a chop saw or things like that. You know, some sort of powered tools, because all I had was my little shed, 6x10 shed in the backyard that had one electrical cord going to it. So that was kind of the official start of Christ Center Ironworks. It was Christ Center Forge and Anvil at the time. We later changed the name to Christ Center Ironworks. And yeah, so case in point, if God tells you to do something, you better listen before he kicks you into that direction. So I guess you could say I fell into it at the start. Every step from there on out has been very much calculated and planned. Unless you have a business plan, you're just not going to make it. You'll drop off the second that orders dry up on you, and that's no good. So you need to have a clear vision of where you want to be in the future and have enough grit to stick with it to get there. So I'd like to dive into that more, but this is hot. Let's come down. Let's go to the anvil, please. It's way hot. Brush it real quick. Has a little mashugana on there. So I'm just running a bevel up both sides. Once I'm done hammering it here, I'm going to show you what we've come up with there, because I know it didn't show off that great previously. Again, you want it to be nice and bright temperatures when you're working on this. So I'm adding hammer facets here to the top portion of this bar stock. That's doing a couple things for me. One, it's creating a little center ridge line. I'm not quite sure you guys can see just yet, but it's creating a little center ridge line on there. I don't know how well that's seen. To kind of give me a center of my bar. But it is also that slight bit of crown that I've given it is going to reflect light to the user's eyes. So the light comes down and it bounces off versus getting absorbed by a flat surface. So this is going to give your piece natural depth and character by adding some hammer bevels and some facets to it. The main thing with this is I'm just trying to keep them even, somewhat even as I go. Everybody see that?
Yep.
Good. All right.
You can.
So we got a bit of a, we've picked up a bit of a bend in it. So I'm going to lay it on the anvil, hold it gently in the tongs, and try to straighten that bent arch out of it.
Brian
Looks
Bean,
like it did.
ask if you're drawing that bar out quite a bit.
Am I drawing it out? Nope, I'm leaving it thick, like you see it. This is kind of the length that it's going to be. So I'm not doing any sort of drawing out work to it. It will stretch a little bit, but the amount of stretch that it's going to do is irrelevant for the project. All right, that's going to set us up nicely for our next task, I believe.
They said, yep, they could see it.
A little bend in it there. There, got it straightened out.
David Prathner says, what do you do if you go too hard with the hammer? How do you fix that?
On a big bar stock like this, back to the main cam. On large bar stock like this, there's not going too hard. You really can't go too far with it. It's not physically possible for you to go too far with larger bar stock, generally speaking. But what you can do is hit not where you're wanting to be. And the easiest way to fix that, and sometimes I do that, I'll have a miss hit somewhere. The easiest way to fix that up is by taking the time and lightly at, say, a dull orange to a bright red heat, come along and lightly hammer the area on the sides, on top, side, top, wherever you've had that little blowout or that accidental hammer blow where you might put a little scallop or a ding in it, and push that material back to where it's supposed to be. The important thing to remember about with forging, we are simply displacing material. When you hit it, it's not evaporated, it's not gone, it didn't just get nuked out of existence. It is still there. It just went somewhere, right? It got displaced out from under your hammer blows. So that means you can work that displaced material back to where it once was. It just takes a little bit of light hammer work and a little bit of time and focus. If you go too far with it, so if you just leave it in there and then you continue to work out your piece until it's like almost a finished piece, then you try to come back and address it, that's not going to work out very well for you. So you need to address that right away. unless, and here's where, you can't make statements of always or forever or this or that. If you're going to be drawing that bar stock out, let's say you made a miss hammer blow and it's halfway into you drawing out a lot of material, who cares? Hammer it out. Just keep hammering on it. It doesn't, like, there is no such thing as a missed hammer, a messed up hammer blow there. You're just going to keep drawing the material out. That's it. On thin stuff, it's possible to nick something so bad that it's useless on thin stock. And in which case you start over and you learn and you get more practice as you go. But when it comes to big heavy stuff like this, if you say you're taking 1 inch, you're going to draw it down to 3/8, and all of a sudden you get a bad nick in the bar at 5/8 inch thick of material, who cares? Keep drawing it out till you get to 3/8. That nick will be gone by the time you get to your final destination. So, great questions.
Stephen Watkins, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Minion Smithy is finally here. Oh, what did I miss? Can Roy start over for me? LMAO.
Yes, just picture in your mind, we went back to a square piece of bar stock.
And we're there.
That's what you've missed so far.
Aimless Adventure sent a $10 super chat. Says, let's go, Roy. Wait, what?
Wait, what? Thank you all. Thank you very much for the super chats, supporting the stream. God bless you. Really do appreciate that.
Johnny says, I have to leave. God bless. Have a great weekend.
God bless you. Have a great weekend as well.
Dana says, I hope to work on some of the blanks I got from Roy this weekend. They are awesome.
Awesome. I hope they treat you well.
Pete Engelbert said that he got his order also, and he's looking forward to working on them.
Awesome, Pete. Thank you for letting us know that you got those. So, speaking of orders right now, some of you might be asking or wondering what people are talking about. We sell blacksmithing blanks, so we sell blanks, pre-cut out shapes, blanks, Christmas ornaments, you name it, stuff like that. I have a CNC plasma cutter that we cut those out from. And so you can find that over our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. And we have a ton of stuff over there. Everything from skillet blanks to spatula and ladles to walks to hooks to bowls to, Christmas ornaments, all sorts of good stuff. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, but you don't want to do a super chat or something like that, an order over there is a great way of supporting the channel as well. And right now, as of current, we are shipping out about every 3 days. So every 3 days, within 3 days. If you place an order, it's shipped. And I try to even beat that and try to have it out in 24 hours. I can't promise that, but that's my own personal goal. I try to do, business hours anyhow. So to get things shipped as quickly as possible. And that's all made in-house here by yours truly. Made in-house by yours truly and shipped by yours truly over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Philip Urban says, my grandkids are enjoying making the ornaments.
Awesome. So glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's one of those great projects that you can get kids in on and they really enjoy.
Yeah.
Preconia says, what weight is your anvil?
465 pounds. 465 pounds. Don't know what that is in kilograms.
Aimless Adventures wants to know if we have any shirts with your face on it.
No, probably not.
No, I don't think we do. Cut out Roy's face.
I mean, it is a pretty good face.
You're partial?
I am kind of partial to the face. Kind of partial to it.
Captain Slaymore says, hi everyone, glad to catch a live stream. Your products are amazing.
Thank you, thank you. Glad you enjoy them, glad you like them.
Hayden LaBelle says, do you guys sell copper blanks like copper sheet for things like scoops, bowls, or spatulas?
Unfortunately, we don't, and it's just because of the cost prohibitive nature of copper. And if I had a run to where I could pick it up scrap or second hand, it might be a different story, but if you've went and seen steel prices, which are about $2.50 a pound, $2.50 a pound for brand new steel, try coppers like, pushing $8 a pound. So where we're at. So no can do for copper, unless you're willing to spend $60 on a blank. which is a lot. And I wouldn't blame you for balking at that price. So although it's easier to have them cut out, it's just, there's just not, there's just not a way of doing that economically enough that would make sense for us to offer copper blanks. Now, when I make stuff from copper, when I make ladles and I make bowls and I make things like that, and if I cut the preform shade out on the CNC or something like that, it makes sense for me because I'm going to end up selling that copper bowl for, anywhere from, $500 all the way up to several $1,000s. So it makes sense for me just to be able to do that when it's for a client. But if it was just trying to cut out blanks and little shapes out of copper, it would just be ridiculously expensive. So we'd be laughed off the internet, I'm sure, for what we would have to charge by the time you figure the materials cost and then the cost to cut it. So
Logan Nicholson says, I just got into blacksmithing. What is the best place to start selling when you don't have a customer base?
The internet. Dun, dun, dun. I want to get to that. It was Logan.
Yes.
Right? Logan?
Yep.
Logan, let me answer that question for you after we take this one little heat, this little short heat here. Okay?
All right.
Go to the anvil, Jess.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to work on just the end now. I'll put a bevel on that as well. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put a similar bevel on the other side. I want that bevel come up, nicely meet the ridges in the center. Work this around. Work those flats until I get a nice triangle on the end. Can you see that okay?
Uh-huh. Yep. Hey, Speargrass Forge.
What's that?
I said, hey, Speargrass Forge.
Hey, Speargrass. Good to have you. So we're getting quite a few questions around quite a few questions around the business side of blacksmithing. One, I'm super excited about that. I'm thankful for that. I like that. I like people asking questions about that. So I'll set this off to the side here before we move on to our next steps. And I'll try to answer some of this a little bit more in detail here. So, where to begin? What was this question again? Where to get started when you don't have a customer base, right?
Yep.
Okay, so first thing to understand about blacksmithing or any business, right? Your customer base can mean a couple different things. When I say I have a client list, that's people who are already established clients with me. Those are people who've bought something from me in the past. I've done work in their home and they're looking for more work to be done. That's different. Those are custom clients. Those are custom orders. Those are people that I'm working directly with to beautify their homes that they've already purchased something from me in the past. A customer base is all based upon where you're at, your location, what you're selling, your target audience or your market, okay? Those are people who haven't bought from you yet, right? Those are people that you want to entice to buy something from you. That's a little bit different. You have a customer base already. What you don't have is a product with exposure to that customer base. So no matter what you make, and I'll stand by this with wholeheartedly. No matter what you make, 10 to 1 odds, there is a human being on the face of this planet, multiple human beings on the face of this planet that would have interest in that thing that you made. Chances are, I have sold some really ugly ironwork in the past, and I had a customer for them. And then I've sold really expensive ironwork, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, and I had a customer for that, a customer base that was looking for that particular price and kind of item. So what you need to do, if you're just getting into it, you need to get yourself out there. You don't need, sure, it's fine. You can go to your family and friends at first. That can be painful. I don't necessarily suggest that to start with, unless you have very kind family and friends. But you need to get out there with whatever it is that you're making. And you need to fire and forget. That's it. You make a thing, whatever it is. Say you're making tongs. You make up a pair of tongs, you post it on your Etsy or your regular website or whatever you're doing, right? Your Instagram, whatever, and say, hey, I have these tongs for sale if anybody's interested, blah, 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 blah. Made them, they're this size, they made from this stock, yada, yada, yada. You post it. If you're on a platform like Etsy, then you're going to need to relist that item weekly to make sure that it keeps getting put up there for people to see in order for them to connect you with the right eyeballs that would possibly want that item. But while it's doing that, you shouldn't be sitting back on your haunches thinking, well, that one tong I posted 6 months ago never sold. So Etsy must be garbage. Websites are garbage. So online sales, that's not my thing. No. You're dumb. Don't do that. Post it. Make another one. 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 Post it. Keep saying that with me. Make another one. Post it. Make another one. Post it. Make another one. Post it. Do a deal. Make another one. Post it. Keep saying it with me. Make another one. Post it. That is 99.999% of the business that in order to take and get your business rolling, up and running. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Businesses survive, they thrive, or they die based upon their marketing and how well they can market and get their items in front of people. You can have the best thing in the world. You could have the cure for cancer. But if you're in a little hut in the middle of the mountain range somewhere that no one's ever heard of, selling it to the passersby at your lemonade stand, but no one ever goes down that way, you're never going to make a sale. So if you're trying to get into it, that's the biggest thing, that's the biggest failure that 99% of blacksmiths fail at, right there, is they get in their mind that they're special and that I have this item, and because I made it, everyone should know that this is gold. And it may be. But you didn't market it. You didn't get it out there. You didn't get it amongst all the social media platforms. You didn't post it out there and keep it relisted and keep it up there and keep it in the front of people's minds, and so it never sold. So don't be one of those people that end up building a chip on their shoulders. Jessica's giggling over there.
Yes.
So
Just some of the comments, yeah, they're repeating after you. Make another one, post it.
Yeah, make another one, post it. Make another one, post it. Make another one, post it, right? Same can be said, I get this question, well, how do you grow on YouTube? Make videos and post them. Be a genuine human being, like what you like, dislike what you dislike, stand for what you believe in, and post it. That's it. Post it constantly. That's it. And eventually, maybe YouTube will be your thing. Maybe you suck at being on camera. Doesn't matter. Post it. There's a lot of people who suck at being on camera, and they got millions of followers and millions of subscribers out there, and could sell ice to a polar bear. So that is the only difference that separates you from where you want to be and where you're at now with the business.
They need a little clarification. Possum Sausage says, not sure if we're making new items and posting or reposting the same items to keep it current. Both.
Okay, both. Just because you made an item doesn't mean it's going to stay at the top of Google search engines forever. They couldn't care less about you. Google doesn't care about the item you made. Don't care. They'll post it, and if all of a sudden you get 1 million hits on that item, they'll care. They'll put it at the top of Google search engines. Sure, why not? But if you don't, they couldn't care less about you. They're in the business to make money and sell ads on your site or whatever else, right? They're in the business to make money. So, and they do that multiple ways. We're not getting into all of that here. That's a deep dive into Nowheresville right there. But The point is if you use a platform like Etsy, not only do you need to post the item, but you need to keep renewing that item. Minimum weekly. You have to set an advertising budget, and that's your advertising budget, is you renewing that item weekly. We have items that we have renewed religiously for 3 years, and they haven't sold yet. Weekly. They're renewed. Costs us what, 50 cents, I think, is the renewal fee on that? Or whatever it is
20,
now?
20 cents a listing, I think.
20 cents? Mm-hmm. Weekly for the last 3 years. I don't care because it's a $4,000 item. So when it sells, it's going to be $4,000 in my pocket. And there's other items, there's other things that I have made where I've posted it, it maybe sat up there for a month, and then it went, oh, holy cow, huge, and it just exploded, and I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of that one singular listing in that item. But I would have never got to that place had I not posted new stuff. If you were hanging your whole business on this one idea you had 5 years ago, and you posted one thing, you're not going to have a business. So that's kind of turned into a bit of a rant, and I could say that for another day. But that's the difference. If you have a customer base, you have a customer base out there. What you don't have is you don't have your items sitting in front of their face yet. So get to work. Post it. Take good photos. Mm-hmm. Stop taking photos, gentlemen, that looks like a murder room. Okay. For the love of everything that's good in this world, stop taking photos of your ironwork sitting next to your toilet. If it's not a toilet brush, don't take a picture there. Like nobody wants to get a spoon from you to eat their cereal with when it's sitting in the nastiest location imaginable or thought about, right? Think about that a little bit of like, would I buy this spoon that's currently sitting on someone's porcelain toilet because it's the only white backdrop they got? Would you? If you wouldn't, don't take a picture there. Don't do that. Get Jessica's ebook on photography, for Pete's sake. Yes. There's a shameless plug that everyone should take advantage of. Yeah. But, it's simple stuff. You don't have to go crazy. You just start. You have to start somewhere and keep going. And don't get discouraged because it doesn't sell right away. Don't get discouraged. Keep working at it. And as you work at it, it will get better and better, and your photographs will get better, and you'll make more sales, and you'll be like, hey, this is really something I can do. And before you know it, you'll be like, I've got so much work at home. Why am I going into work for? Right? If you don't like your job and you'd rather do this for a living, that's how you start. You start now. Don't wait until you have time and you've been fired or laid off. Get started now. Get started now while you still are gainfully employed. Use your nights, your weekends, and your evenings to work on your business and get things posted and get them moving. And you'll be a success. You will.
David Prather says, toilet spoon. Now they like that idea. They're going to start listing toilet spoons.
Toilet spoons. They're going to have they're going to have Christ Centered Ironworks approved toilet spoons, People are like, who is this Christ Centered Ironworks guy? On it.
By the way, your brother says hi. He's watching the live stream.
Hey, bro. Good to have you in here, pal. None of you have met my brother yet, but my brother, except for way back, there's a video way back where my brother was part of one of the videos. He looks basically an exact ringer for me. So we could have been twins. We're 4 years apart, but we could have been twins, basically. He's a lot hairier than I am. I'm trying very weakly to grow a beard and outdo him. And he's like a week. He can completely shave, and he'll have a beard like this within the week. Like, that's it. It'll be like, poof. 6 months, he's got like Santa level proportion beards. I'm like, darn it.
I think he put an Instagram post up too.
Yeah, he makes me so jealous. Oh. Anyways, sorry. Went into a bit of a rant there about sales, blacksmithing. But it's a good time to think about it. If you're thinking about Christmas, it's a little late to get started, but you might still be able to. get in on an event. It depends on how active you want to be at this thing. You know, you want to start thinking, if you miss out on Christmas sales, say, well, I guess I'll wait until next fall. No, think about Easter. Think about, you know, camping in the spring and summer. What are people going to need? What type of items do you think other people would like? What type of items would you like to make for other people? Home and hearth. That's good all winter long. If you make something for home and hearth, fireplace tool sets, anything that's around a fireplace or working with wood or stoves, that type of thing, that's your money spot right there. Home decor. A lot of people work on their homes come winter. They do. A lot of people work on the interior decorating of their homes come winter because it's a good activity to do where you don't have to be outside.
Brittingham Forge says Roy's toilet spoon rant.
Toilet spoon rant, yeah. It really is, guys. It really is. It's not that complex. Just take pictures in nice places. It's not that hard. At least go outside. Put it on a rock or something or a stump. Don't take pictures next to your toilet bowl, you know, and expect things to sell. I have seen people go on long tirades of how they can't make it as a blacksmith. And you go to look at their site and you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? You are literally telling people not to buy from you. Just 5 minutes of care into each posting can make a world of difference. So, what's up?
Tobacco Maker says make another toilet spoon and post it.
Make another toilet spoon and post it right next to the other toilet spoon. Oh Lord. All right, let's give something away.
All right, let's do that.
I need to finish that rant now that I got everybody's attention. I got my blood flowing.
Yep.
Let's give something away, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
All right, we'll do that while this piece of bar stock heats up and we move on to the next process.
We are currently sitting at 6:02 p.m. and 123 viewers.
Right on, right on. Wonder how many people I scared away with my rant, eh?
I don't know.
A bunch?
They might be waiting. Oh, we had a slight lull from 123 to 114, so maybe 10.
They just left. They're like, the heck with this guy. All right, so we're going to give away a pair of slot jaw tongs blanks. Right. Can they see that okay?
Sure can.
Yeah? Look good?
Yep.
Okay. We are at camera number 2, right?
Yes, we are. Okay,
for those of you who haven't been here before, and for those of you that have, I'm sorry, this will be repetitive. The way this works is all you have to do is comment down in the comment section down below. Tong blanks, tong please, something that has tongs in your statement, and we will draw a name from somebody at random when I'm done ringing the anvil. So once the ringing the anvil stops, we will draw one random commenter from the stream's comment section and get these shipped out to you when you get through our contact link. Good enough?
Yep, that'll work.
All right, let's go back to the main cam.
All right.
Are they all commenting? Are they all talking?
Yeah, they are.
We good?
Getting the roll going.
Okay, should I go ahead and roll for them now?
Sure.
All right, and here we go. This is for the slot jaw tong blanks.
Okay.
Who do we have?
We have Brian Bean with tongs, please.
Ryan who?
Brian Bean.
Brian Bean. Congratulations. Yes. You are the winner of the slot jaw tongs, sir. Get with us through the contact email in the description, and we will get these shipped out to you pronto. Mm-hmm. Next Monday, in fact. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go and give away another pair of tongs, shall we?
Sure.
All right. So for this pair of tongs, are we at camera number 2?
Uh-huh.
We're going to be giving away a pair of flat jaw tongs. These are like a twist tong. You just twist the jaw down and shape them to however you want. Again, we'll be giving another one. We'll give this set away to one lucky viewer here. Comment down below if you want this pair of tongs. We go back to main cam. Right. Also, just to make mention one more time, these are available international. So if you I don't care if you live in Poland, you're just as good or Canada or wherever. You're just as have just as good a chances, if you will. So, all right, we ready?
Yes, we are.
Who do we have?
We have M. Howcroft 2 with tong.
M. Howcroft 2?
Yep.
Congratulations. You won the tong blank. get with us through the contact email in the description. By the way, all of these need to be spoken for. You need to get with us in the next 24 hours. Oh, there's your time frame. Get with us in the next 24 hours, and we'll make sure we have them shipped out Monday. If not, they go in the next giveaway live stream. So that's how that works. Good?
Yes, good.
Oh, let me don't make sure on this. I don't want this to get too hot.
No, it's been in there for a while, huh?
Well, not that long, but I just don't want it to get too hot while we're doing and talking. So, all right, what else we got?
What is your forge of choice?
My forge of choice.
Coal or propane?
Don't have one. Don't have one. If I had to go down to just one for the rest of my life, coal, all day long.
Next year is year of the what? Asked Nicholas. We have not decided on that. We need to do some brainstorming.
Yep, we haven't decided what that's going to be just yet.
Wayne Hines says, Dad, don't burn it.
Well, to be honest with you, when it comes to the year of things, originally I got started with that idea of thinking like, hey, I could get with some bigger brands and get like some sponsors of the stream to where I could partner with some larger companies with larger tooling that would be, again, cost prohibitive for a lot of people just to be able to just go out and swing and buy something. And so far, the partnership that we have with Holland Anvil, that has worked out really, really well, and that was amazing. I don't know if they're interested in doing something next year as well. We haven't even talked or considered anything like that, so we'll have to see. I was hoping I could get an interest enough of the bigger blacksmithing chains out there that you see all the time that to be interested in donating quite generously to this thing that we're doing here on YouTube, but that just hasn't, happened just yet. It hasn't happened organically. I don't want to be the guy with the tin cup going around, to all these different places. Mainly because they're getting really good exposure here on the channel. They're getting a lot of eyeballs. A lot of you have went and purchased things from the different companies that have sponsored us here, and you've went out and showed your support and wrote nice notes to them and let them know that you appreciate what they've done. So stuff like that's good. I want that to happen naturally, not me going around with a tin cup kind of trying to rattle some of these bigger companies' chains. So we'll see as things go. Who knows, maybe one day we got a couple million subscribers and some of these bigger places wake up and they're like, hey, I want to get behind what you're doing. There's going to be a steeper cost to entry then for them. Because again, we're providing not only good exposure to them, but we're also providing an opportunity for them to do something meaningful in the blacksmithing community other than just make sales. So if that's one thing I won't work with. I'll work with just about anybody who will be helpful to the blacksmithing community, but I won't work with a company that's not interested in the betterment of smiths. So if they're just there for the bottom line, I couldn't care less about them. That's just kind of how it is here on the channel. So we'll see how it goes in the future. It's all very mystic.
Yes. See, they've thrown out some possible ideas.
What's that?
Jeff Woodring says year of the power hammer. Dylan,
Wish.
Let's see here. Karst Thompson, year of the belt grinder. Robert Lannis, year of the toilet spoon.
Year of the toilet spoon. We can do that one. We don't even need a channel sponsor for that one, huh?
No. Tobacco maker, year of the fire pot. DC knives, belt grinder or belt sander.
Yeah.
Somebody else said mandrels. So yeah. There's plenty of ideas out there.
So it'll be interesting to see. So right now, inflation has been insane. Everybody's prices are up. Steel prices are way up. So, I mean, it took took something where someone may have had, you know, $100 in steel, all in total, that, you know, they could sell for more, but they're like, you know what, I can give that away. That's an okay advertising budget to work with a creator. You go from that to things costing where it might cost $300-400 for that piece of steel. Now that's getting pretty expensive just to give it away free for, you know, nothing. Unless you're loaded as a company and you're doing really, really well out there, it may not necessarily look as good of an option. So who knows? Who knows? Yeah, the grinder. You're the grinder. I hope to do one of those eventually, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see who we can work with on that.
Tobacco Maker says, the year of send Roy a single plank of siding.
Yeah.
Get siding
there
from
you go.
everybody.
A year of buy Roy a single plank of siding. I think I can get behind that one. That'd be good. That would be real good. Oh. All right, we ready?
Yeah, sure.
We ready for this?
Is it hot?
Huh?
Is it hot?
It is hot.
Okay.
It is hot. So let's go to the anvil.
All right.
All right, see where we're at.
Someone asked earlier, is the design going to be vertical or horizontal?
They will see here in a second.
Okay.
You will see here in a second. All right, so I'm going to bring this out, and I'm going to find the center of the bar. How am I going to find that center of the bar, you may ask? I'm going to eyeball it. Just like all good blacksmiths do, right? I'm just using my eyes to find the reference for center on the bar. I may be off a bit, but that's okay. This is more of an art, modern piece. You can make this as accurate as you'd like it to be. So I am going to put a punch mark dead center there. I'm going to go cool my tool. Okay. And then I want to come a certain distance off each end. So I'm not even going to worry about this end that's already darkening out too much. I'm going to go to the hottest end that I have, and I'm going to come off a certain distance off the end. Again, this does not matter what it is, but you want it to be in the center of the bar. And we're going to put another doot mark there. Just another punch mark. So now I can come out, and I'm going to copy that on the opposite end of the bar stock over here. So I came in roughly about a ½ an inch or 12 and a half mil off of where the bevel stopped. Can they see that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep, sure can.
So that's how far in I came on that. So that's how far I'm going to come in from the other end. So as you can see, this is going to sit horizontally. This is going to sit flat like this, and there's going to be 3 candles that are going to go in this. I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to go ahead and heat up the other end. I'm getting everything marked out now before I go much further. We at the main cam?
Yes.
I'm getting all this marked out now before I go much further. I want to make sure everything's kind of like I like it, and then I'm going to start driving things in a lot deeper to end up making the bottom or the base for the candles. Basically, we're making a cup inside this bar for the candles to fit in. If that makes sense to you. Good?
Yes.
Questions, comments, complaints?
They're still commenting on the year of next year. Let's see here. Brandon Turner says year of the eyeball measurements. Beanie Baby says year of the blacksmith kilt.
Oh, Lord, no.
Bill Wool says year of the hot mill gloves.
Heck yeah. We could do those. That'd be cheap enough.
Rob Huff says, there we go, Rob Huff. 2022 should definitely be the year of the guillotine, since it would be the 229th anniversary of its introduction. It's an odd number though, like 229th.
Yeah, that's a possibility. We just have to find somebody to work with that makes guillotine tools. So that would work out well.
Dunce Monkey says year of the apron. Baxter Oliver wants to know if you've ever made a spear.
Yes, I have. I made a fire poker that was like a spear. So it was like a 7-foot long fire poker. And it had a decorative end on one end with almost kind of like a branding iron, type shape on it. It had some sort of rune symbol, don't know what it was for. And then the other end was shaped like a spear. Yeah, some pretty heavy bar stock. But they like to have bonfires, and they wanted a really meaty looking fire poker. So I made one like that. I've also made some smaller spears, like smaller javelin type spears before. So. What else?
Stone in the Field says Year of the Hardy. Sherrod Martin says Year of Close Enough.
Year of Close Enough. Year of Good Enough for YouTube.
Stephen Watkins says Year of Flux. Mr. Bachomp says Year of the Leather Chaps. Peter Engelbert says the Year of Roy teaching Abana courses. Smiley face.
Possibly.
Anthony Crespo, Year of the We Pay You.
You know what? I like that one. I think that's my favorite so far. The Year of We Pay You. Yeah, let's do that. The Year of We Pay You.
Vortigop, Year of the Hardy Hole. And Aimless Adventure says, how do you give away a Hardy Hole?
Well, it could get bad. It could get bad, huh?
Brian Bean, Year of the Forge. Jeffrey Redinger, maybe a Hardy tool set. Stone in the Field, the Year of Calloused Hands.
So like hard work and suffering. The Year of Hard Work and Suffering. You all may partake.
Beanie Baby says Year of Plaid.
Year of Plaid. Flannel.
Somebody was saying earlier you're beginning to look more lumberjacky.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Oh. It's nice. I like flannels. I did like the denim shirts. Of course, they're a little cool right now for this time of year. I'm double shirted right now, and this is a really nice flannel shirt. Finally found some that fits my arms, which is good.
Possum Sachet says, I still think Year of the Post Vice.
Year of the Post Vice. Be nice. Need to find a whole bunch of cheap ones. Like 12 really cheap Post Vice that somebody wants to give me a deal on. And not like $400 each type of deal. Then we could do the Year of the Post Vice. Man, the shipping would be unreal on that, though. We'd have to chop the legs off.
You must
and ship them separate. I'd have to drill them, tap them, make them thread on legs. Just for shipping concerns. Do a video on that and post it just to Facebook. I want to get I want to get a better reputation. I want to get a worse reputation than I already have. Just go around sawing off post vice legs.
Oh man, you would not be loved anymore.
No, I would not. Who says I'm loved now?
You are the nucleus. You would not be the nucleus anymore.
Yeah, I would not be the nucleus anymore.
Dana says, how about the Year of life-size stickers of Roy?
That could happen. We can get like poster board cutouts or magnet ones. That way everybody,
just, like,
whenever
place.
someone wins in their home state, they can just slap it on a freeway sign, a billboard somewhere.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I don't want to go to prison, folks, so don't do that. People are like, who is this guy? Let's do an image search on YouTube. It's that guy. Get him. All right, let's go to the anvil, Jess.
All right.
All right.
GWI Railroad, good to see you.
I'm going to come back in the same amount on the other one. Just like I had on the other one. Come to center. While it's hot, I'm going to go ahead and keep driving this nice and deep. Go cool off my tool. Whoop, 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 whoop. All right, go ahead and show this off. See that all right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As you see, we're starting to drive that fairly deep. Mm-hmm. We are not wanting to drive this all the way through. We just want to drive it down far enough that we get this kind of starting to spread for the next step. So I'm going to do that in the center and on this end.
PJ says, every Roy cutout should come up with a recording of Roy, make a toilet spoon and post it.
Oh, Lord, make a toilet spoon and post it. I've started something, Jess.
You did.
I opened Pandora's box.
You did. Messy Laura said, and toilet tongs to go with the, the spoon.
Like little fingers.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. People get rid of.
It's like it's for them dirty
anymore.
jobs that nobody wants. You get like miniature little blue latex gloves that can go on them. Sell it as a pack. You know, we laugh, but we just created $1 million industry right now. I'm telling you, people get all sorts of interested in crazy weird stuff like that. So you heard it here first. Everyone heard it here first. So if you see it, they get to pay royalties, 5% on all sales from here on out of toilet tongs.
Anthony Crespo says, then you'll need an anvil shaped like a toilet.
Yeah.
Or a toilet shaped like an anvil. You could do it the other way around.
I could do that. Anyways, so what else we got, Jess?
Let's see here. Gregory Arbuckle says, Jessica, thank you for the shipping you do. Got all my stuff yesterday. Thank you again.
Awesome.
You're
Glad
welcome.
you got it.
Grow a Skill says, really great to see Christians putting their faith to work, loving others by making great products.
Well, glad to be out there doing that. Yeah, so let's see here. I've got one. I've got something to share. I've got something to share with the group. Somebody was mean to me online. I'm really not that heartbroken about it. Just to be all serious. So I had somebody comment on a video from a way long time back, and this kind of ties into the business side of blacksmithing. I did a video on a trivet, and the trivet was out of a center cut portion of skillets. So when I was doing production skillets for a long while there, and I was hand cutting out the skillets on the plate, you were always left with this kind of plus or this little star-shaped centerpiece that I didn't want to take and throw away. I wanted to find something to do with it. So I would cut those star shapes up, I'd cut them out, and then I would actually bend them into like a four-legged trivet or a pot rack, if you will. They're not really a trivet because it's not tri-legged, but so I did that. Well, I posted on the internet, like you do, a $75 trivet, and which is funny because I sold them all the time for 75 bucks. So I just said, hey, just trying to showcase what you could do, right? Like, here's a thing that you can make for 75 bucks. And anyways, commenter came along and said, that looks like a $3 trivet. No shape, no dimension, worthless kind of type deal. And I'm paraphrasing, of course. But, the interesting thing about that is that's the perfect example of having something that connects with a certain target group or audience. For the 40, 50 people who bought those style trivets, it wasn't worthless. It wasn't $3 to them. It was 75 bucks to them. And that was waste material that I would have thrown away otherwise. So be careful of the way that you think about things. And when you view other people's work, you say, oh, oh God, I would never pay that for that. Are you kidding me? Right as you say that, there's probably a couple 100,000 people all looking for that exact item. So the only one being ignorant in the situation is you, because you're closed-minded. So you need to think outside the box on some stuff. I remember I laughed, I giggled about selling a knot sculpture. I tied a knot in a piece of 3/8 inch round bar. I'm like, hey, and I just did it as a party trick at a demonstration. That's it. And I'm like, you know what? At that time, I was getting really irritated with the art scene, and I was getting really irritated with the whole gallery owners and stuff. Long story, we won't go into that here. But I was working with certain galleries that I was having problems with. So at that time, I just kind of out of spite, I'm like, well, you know, I said, fine, I'll make some art, right, and see if it sells. So I made this, tied a knot into a piece of 3/8 inch bar, and then I drilled a hole, made a little textured base, and I welded it to the thing. And I called it Tied the Knot. I sold like 10 of those things for $100 each, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
And I was just messing around out of spite, like just anger because people couldn't see the art and the stuff that I wanted to do, right? And because I was too contemporary. I was too traditional, right? I wasn't cool enough for the cool kid crowd, right? And so I just like, here, I'll just make some rando weirdo art sculpture garbage, and that's just what it is. It's garbage, but I ended up selling it. And that had a big influence on my mind. That had a big impact on my mind of like, I'm the one being closed-minded as to what, I'm making that choice for someone else, what they find interesting, what they want to buy. I'm making that choice for them, and I shouldn't. You should let your buyers make the choice. Let the market decide what is worthwhile and what is not. I have met older smiths. I have met highly intelligent, who I will undoubtedly say are master smiths in this craft, who get all sorts of angry and upset at the fact that they see young guys or they see certain people who have come into the craft long after they have get angry about the fact that they're doing so well, selling what they consider as subpar ironwork. They're not as closed-minded, so therefore they're making the sales to the people. They're putting themselves out there, and they're being rewarded with sales. So does that mean you should just put out sloppy ironwork? Heck no. You should do your best on every job you can, and just realize that you're in this process of learning, and you're constantly growing. And, you know, hey, it might mean that you stumble across something really stupid, like toilet spoons, and people, sure enough, will buy it. Right? They bought Furbies, a stupid little animatronic doll, right? Beanie Babies, that was a craze. Pet rocks. Think about that for a second. Everybody gets so angry at that. That dude made a mint on pet rocks, son. Selling people rocks. Not even painted rocks. Rocks. Just rocks in a box. Pet rocks. So that shows you that it's all about marketing and things like that. So don't get closed-minded. Always be looking for ways that you can move forward. But yeah, that's just something that tied in. I laughed. I never responded because it's not worth my time, frankly. I'm not going to have an argument with an inconsequential person online about a video I did 3 years ago. So.
Carnage Creation says, we'll say my year of idea again, year of the hammer. Roy handmade hammer is the main prize with a blacksmith store. Bought one for minor prizes. That's a good idea.
Could be.
Dana says his pet rock ran away.
Don't you mean rolled away? All right, let's go to the anvil.
All right.
It's getting hot. Enough of my jawing on. All right, right here in the center. Cool off the tool. And I'm just looking to make these somewhat even where they go down. 2. Cool off the tool. This end's hot enough I can drive it down just a wee bit more. Not a lot, but I don't want to do this too cold because I want the material around the hole to displace. So if you notice how it's kind of bumping out, hopefully you can see that.
Yep.
See how it's starting to bump out? If you do this cold, you're going to punch straight through and you're not going to actually push too much of the sides. We want the sides to displace quite a bit. It's imperative that they do. At this stage, I wonder how many people are going, what? Like, what are you even doing, Roy? We're going to go ahead and give this a whack just to flatten it.
Very nice.
Very nice.
$5 super chat from Simon Beelier, who says, "Hi Roy, have you ever thought about taking on an apprentice?"
Yes, I've given thoughts about that in the past. Really, with the type of work that I do, it is not, as of current, the work that I do, I don't have room in the shop for another person, realistically. And I've done that over time. I had employees at one time. I've tried that a couple times, hiring people. I've tried to have an apprentice a couple times, and it hasn't ever really worked out, so to speak. I've got one guy, Thomas, the illustrious hand model, that's been coming over to my shop, and like throughout the winter and stuff, when his work gets all, and he helps me from time to time, and that works out pretty good. But really, the type of work that I do is not stuff that really gets far beyond what I'm capable of. I either have bought in equipment to help me with the heavy lifting on drawing out things, or punching stuff in heavy bar stock or things like that. So other than that, it's a lot of somebody else just standing there kind of watching me doing my thing. And so really, to have a good master-apprentice kind of relationship, you need to have something that you can collectively get in on. Yes, it requires the master skill, but it also requires the apprentice's help. And I just haven't really done a lot of projects, or I haven't really set my business up in such a way that I need that I need that additional help.
Chirpy's Tinkering says, "Hey Roy and Jess, how's it been?"
Hey, Chirpy. Darn machinist. Always so peculiar. It's been a long time, Chirpy. Good to have you here, sir.
He says, "Yeah, Roy abuses strikers, lol."
Say what?
Chirpy says, "Yeah, Roy abuses strikers, lol."
Well, of course. That's what you got to do with strikers. Got to remind them who's boss.
Sherrod Martin says, ask if you've ever given any thought to doing online classes like tool making or hammer making."
Yeah, I've given thought to those in the past. I guess, so my only thing against doing online classes, and this has been my main thing against doing online classes, is the fact that I already put out so much content for free on YouTube. So I kind of reached a point where I've done what I've wanted to do with fundamentals, basics, things like that. And for me to put that in some sort of online thing that you can buy and buy into, it's already there for free. It's already there for free on YouTube. As far as my more advanced level stuff, I've thought about doing that with the chasing work and some of the Baroque ironwork and the things like that. I've thought about offering classes on that potentially, but again, I do so much content on YouTube already. It's a bit of a drag to have to produce an additional amount of content.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
So,
he said on site, not online.
On site or online?
On site.
So on-site, yeah, on-site classes are going to be a very real thing in the next not too distant future. The big deal on site, I had a few things that I wanted to get in first. I wanted to have the gravel floor in, I got that accomplished. I want to have a nice dry, clean space. I still haven't got that accomplished. So the roof needs work and the siding needs work. So in order for me to open it up where, say, I could have maybe 4 or 5 people here to run a thing. Right now I do one-on-one type stuff occasionally, if it works within my schedule. But to do a full class where I have 4 or 5 people actually come here and spend a weekend learning something, that I have a few other things I want to get accomplished first before I make that a go. So, and it wouldn't be a regular thing. I'm not a blacksmithing school. So it would not be a regular thing. It would be maybe a once or twice a year sort of type deal.
Low Flow says, hey Roy, I'm about to build a gas forge. I already have a solid fuel forge, but what kind of burners are the most fuel efficient and what should I go for?
So they're building a gas forge.
Yep.
If you're building a gas forge, I can really recommend a force air burner, something that's got like a Dayton blower on it, and they really sip the gas. If you're using a Venturi burner, anything that's an atmospheric type burner, they're going to suck a lot more gas. You got to put the pressure through them, and therefore you've got to move the volume through them in order to produce a good, hot, stable flame. So, in my opinion, I would think that an electric blower type of a mechanically aspirated gas forge would be better in that type of respect, as far as for fuel efficiency. Now, as far as take anywhere and set up, there's times if you're taking it, say you want to go demo at shows, you may not have electricity on site. And, well, you're out on that. So then you got to either have a big noisy generator running or something else for the mechanically aspirated. So at that point, a Venturi burner is good. I would suggest both when you can. Have both. All right, anvil.
All right.
Please, my love. All right. Go ahead and sink this a little bit deeper. One thing I like about thick material, unlike working with thin stock, is if you have a large enough anvil and a heavy enough piece, you can get a lot of work done. You can get a lot of work done without the thing moving all around on you. It's really nice to have a nice heavy piece that just lays on the anvil. All right. It's almost there. Go cool this tool off again. Like I said, keep this nice and hot when you're doing all this. You're going to follow along. I'm going to see if this is going to work. That'll work for the first stage. Okay, so the next step in this process, I'm going to use a little ball punch. Mainly because this has a fairly long, narrow taper to it. So it's not getting as much spread out as I would like for the taper on the bottom of the candles. So I'm going to use this to help spread this a bit more on top. And then I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to go in with a slightly bigger one of these ball fullers here, just because of the taper. I'm trying to establish a nice taper on these. Hopefully that makes sense. I should probably change my little statement on that there. We'll go back to the camera number 1. I say hopefully that makes sense. It kind of occurred to me that that could also be read as like, hopefully that makes sense to you, right? Something like that, like it, maybe like as if you didn't know what I was talking about, or it could be seen as me speaking down to you. It's actually, I should change that to, hopefully I'm making sense. Hopefully I'm being clear enough. That's what I'm trying to express when I say that. Is hopefully my logic train is actually coming out in words that make sense. Because in my head, it sounds right. It's like, oh yeah, Roy. Yep, you got it. You got it figured out there, pal. but again, that's just me.
Charles May asks if you consider yourself an artist or a craftsman.
Ooh, tough one. Great question. Oh, I'm going to have to go with probably a craftsman predominantly. And the only reason why I wouldn't say artist is because I don't want to associate with artists. I am an artist. The things that I make are very artistic. They're very beautiful. I make art with iron. But I don't make the type of art that sells in galleries. I don't. I have no interest in it. No interest. If you want to weld a boogery up looking nasty piece of metal to a plate of steel and sell it for millions, you do you. I'm happy for you. That's fine. Just for me, I can't bring myself down to that level to do it. There's a point that I can't do that because I'm more interested in the craftsmanship in the item, in the journey along the way, and not just having some purple slicked hair and saying, I woke up one day and I decided to be a master at this, and so I am a master because the universe told me so, and the metal told me what it wanted to be. That when I hear artists, that's kind of where I get that cringe moment. Is like that. I know not all artists are that way, but that's what I've run into in the past. So I'm just speaking. Again, I'm not trying to be. I don't know what you call it, offensive. Well, I don't care. I just don't care. I'm not trying to be intentionally offensive to anybody out there. It's just that has been my personal experience when it comes to blacksmithing and art. There's a broad category as soon as you put art on what is acceptable, what is good, what is bad, what's good iron, what's bad iron. If you just label it as art, now you're untouchable and no one can tell you any different. If you say, oh, well, it's artistic. Well, it's my feelings expressed in this paradigm that is steel. Well, guess what? You can't say anything more than on that front, right? But if you come down to the craftsmanship, which I am most interested in, doing the best I can for the craft, for the customer, to take the most efficient route and make the most cleanest forgings and the best representation of our craft, I'm more of a craftsman, I guess. That's my logic behind it. So that's going to rattle some tail feathers, I imagine. Somebody will watch this on the replay and be like, he's talking to me. What's that old Jeff Foxworthy thing? You might be a redneck or you might be an artist. If this offends you, you might be an artist. If you need to go to your support group and have someone hold your hand in your safe place and tell you it's all going to be okay, you just might be an artist.
E.F. Ledbetter says craftsmen are practical artists.
Yeah.
Brittingham Forge follows that up with, I would say a true craftsman is an artist, artisan.
Yeah, so there you go, an artisan craftsman. So it's very hard to put. It's very hard to put a terminology. You'll have the world. They'll ask you, "What are you? Are you an artist? Are you? Well, what are you?" Right? If you say blacksmith, they instantly associate that with blade making now. It used to be, oh, a farrier. Oh, you're a farrier, so you shoe horses. Because the closest thing they have in their mind was they watched a guy once have a, at a historical village somewhere, bend a horseshoe, right? So that's what it used to be. Now everybody knows from Forged in Fire, right, that all blacksmiths are knife makers. And so it's a little bit difficult. So I have taken personally to calling myself an ornamental iron worker. I make ornamental iron. That's it. Scratch, Roy, artist blacksmith. Did that for the longest. And just ornamental iron. Maker, forger of ornamental iron.
Chirpy says he's a tinkerer.
He's a tinkerer. That's the perfect explanation of Chirpy. He likes to tinker.
Stone in the Field says I'm a practical maker. Mike, let's see, let me go back up. Oh, Eddie Bradford, thank you for the $20 super chat.
Thank you, Eddie.
He says, keep up the good work, great stream.
Awesome, glad you're enjoying it. Let's go to the anvil cam there, Jess.
All right.
I'm going to have to do some stiffs.
And they asked, how big of a candles will you be putting in this?
So these are going to be miniature candles. So they're 4 inches tall, 1/2 inch in diameter. So these are for small candles. You'd have to take a little different approach if you want to put in full-size candles into this piece, but totally doable with similar methods. All right, widened it out a little bit with that one. By the way, everybody, I came up with this like 20 minutes before this stream started, so bear with me. I'm working with the tools I got. There we go. Nice. Now you guys can see where we're going with this, hopefully. Look good?
Mm-hmm.
Can they see that okay?
Yes, yes they can.
All right. All right, all right. Let me grab my ruler here. Yep, we're sitting at 1/2 inch in diameter, or 12 mil or 12.5 mil roughly. We're sitting at about that. So that's where we want it to be. Looks good. Okay, next one. Again, this is a very simple thing. I'm spending a lot of time talking. Something like this, realistically, if you were doing this, well, realistically, I would be doing this mostly under the fly press or the power hammer. Take a big bar like this, and I'd just slam this right down through it. But since I'm doing it by hand, I've got to work it in stages, right? Versus just being able to just wham and just nail this thing right down in there. So, yeah, if I was going to do this, I'd have probably 4 or 5 of these probably packed up in the gas forge because it would just be easier to maintain them all at heat. They'd all be laid out with some center punch marks, bring them out one at a time and go bam, 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 right on down the road. So that's the difference between demonstrating and educating and showcasing each step of a journey versus just getting it done.
Bill Wool asked where you found your metal folding ruler.
Found that at a garage sale, 50 cents. Many a years ago now. Oh, I had been looking for one for like a year or two. I was actually looking for one that was just a half fold, like a brass half fold ruler. I seen a guy who was demonstrating. I hate when I forget people's name right as I'm about to mention them. I hate this. No, it's gone. There was a guy I was watching demonstrate at SOFA, and he had a little half ruler, a little brass half ruler, and he had a pocket right in his chaps, right? That he kept that little brass half ruler. I'm like, man, that's really slick. I want to get me one of those. I really want one of those because it just seemed as handy as all get out. He just popped it out. He's constantly like flipping it out, measuring stuff. I'm like, sweet, that's what I need because, you know, at that time I was using tape measures. If you know about tape measures touching hot steel, it doesn't take long for that little yellow paint to disappear if you touch it to hot steel too much. So, yeah, and so I looked for a year or two, I guess it was, and just happened upon this ruler. It's a Lufkin aluminum ruler at a garage sale, and it has lived in my pocket of my pants ever since, hasn't it, hon? Mm-hmm, there are not very many days out of 365 days where I don't have that ruler on my person.
He's lost it down the couch a couple of times, and he notices same day whenever it falls out.
Instantly. Yep.
Like, where to go?
So while we wait for this to heat back up, let's give away another pair of tongs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Time to give something away. I don't want everybody to think I'm milking this project. I'm just getting really, I'm really enjoying the conversation about work and business and blacksmithing. And yeah, you guys have brought up some great questions, haven't they, hun?
Yeah, they have.
Really some great questions. I'm really appreciative of that. So
See, this pair is the bolt.
this could be the bolt jaws, right? We haven't given those away yet?
No.
Nope, because we've given away the flat jaw and the slot jaw, right?
Which one did we give away first?
Huh?
Which one did we give away first?
We gave away the slot jaws first.
Okay.
Slot jaws first, then flat jaws. And now we're giving away these bolt jaw tongues. Are we at camera number 2?
Yep. There we go.
Now we are. Boom. We're going to give away these pair of bolt jaw tongs. I will take this moment to thank everybody who donates to the stream, who has donated or have become a channel member on the channel. This is where your money's going. It goes to buy this type stuff. So again, thank you so much for that. We did go out and purchase these. So from Ken's Custom Iron, and got them over here so this way we could give them away. So again, thank you all to who donates and makes this stuff possible. These are open worldwide, of course, and the shipping thereof. All right, we can go back to main cam.
All right.
You good?
Yes.
Are we at the main cam?
We are now. Mm-hmm.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody ready for me to draw for them?
They are.
Set, go. Who do we have?
We landed on Nicholas with bolt jaw tongs.
Bolt jaw tongs. Nicholas.
Yep, just Nicholas.
Nicholas, congratulations. You won the bolt jaw tongs. Get with us through the contact email down in the description. Now, I don't have the sticker packs right now to show off. We need to bring those out next stream.
We do.
I mean, we've done a horrible job this year on that.
Yeah.
Actually, before we do that, we're going to end up giving away some sticker packs here in just a moment as well, for those who are interested. But before we do that, we need to move along on this little process here, girl.
All righty.
Okay?
Okay.
So let me bring this out and go to the anvil cam.
Yep.
We there?
Yep.
Okay. Didn't quite get the heat where I wanted it. It's hotter on the end of the bar versus the center. But we will go ahead and pop this down a couple times. I know that this tool isn't perfectly round, so I'm rotating it a couple times, this little tool. I know it's not perfectly round because I was the one who made it. Rotate it. And we're just looking for roughly the same size as the other. There we go. I think this can go down a bit more without it growing too much on us. Good. Oakley dokley, neighbors. Grab my tongs here. Another nice thing about larger bar stock is you got a bit of time to play with it when it gets out of the forge, unlike small stuff.
Ooh.
And throw it across your data cord.
Not good.
Ah! Ah! Screaming goat. Ah! I'm going to start brushing back towards myself.
Yeah.
So this way I don't throw it off the anvil. All right, I got to tap this so I can straighten her. Now hopefully it sits nice and flat. There we go. Can everybody see the progression there?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Sweetness.
I like that.
All right. Last one to sink out there. What's up?
Super chats. Rob Huff.
Plenty of super chats?
Yeah. Rob Huff sent $10, said shipping funds. Congrats to all the winners.
Thank you, Rob Huff. Real quick, I just want to mention it. For those of you who don't know Rob Huff has been a very big and ardent supporter of ours here at Christ Center Ironworks for a very long time. He takes like every single one of my blacksmithing classes that he can get to down at Goshen. And I just want to acknowledge Rob, and I hope everybody will acknowledge Rob. with some clappy hands in the comment section right now. And I just want to acknowledge you and say thank you, brother, for being so supportive of our channel all these years. Really couldn't do it without you. I greatly appreciate you. Just wanted to say that. All right, enough of that gushy stuff. Go on.
Go on. All right. Heath Miller sent a $5 super chat, says couple of bucks to help with the shipping and the coffee.
Heath Miller.
Yep, Heath Miller.
He's another one. Thank you, Heath. Thank you so much.
He is looking forward to the toilet spoon video.
He's looking for the what?
He's looking forward to the toilette spoon video.
Oh, Lord. I'm so going to get demonetized with that video. We'll put like a Snickers bar in there and like scoop it out. Toilet spoons. The ultimate clog cleaner. Oh, Lord. The things your guys' minds run to, I swear.
Lots of clappy hands. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all. Thank you. Oh. Also, I'd like to point this out and mention this too. We've had a couple members fall off here recently. You guys know who you are that have come to us and say, hey, we can't continue our membership just because we've kind of hit some rough times, and you know, hopefully we can support again once we get better. And I just want to let people know that that's perfectly okay. Jessica and I, we're blessed 110%. We're just blessed that we're even in your hearts, minds, and prayers. So please don't feel, don't feel obligated, right? I guess that's what it is. You got to take care of your family and take care of yourselves, and you are on our hearts, minds, and prayers that your situations get better, not just simply for ourselves, but mainly for you, right? So again, thank you all for your support. Thank you for the channel members. Thank you, everybody. I just wanted to put that out there. We do mean it when we say it, that we appreciate you. It's funny that you have to reinstate that, but there's a lot of people out there that say that and might and go a little different direction when push comes to shove. So that's not us. So
Heath Miller says, what can we say? Our minds go straight to the toilet.
Yeah, they go straight to the gutter, don't they? I need a place for this. I need a place that's central. Bam, so I don't have to keep running across there.
They want to know what you're drinking.
A juice of some kind, I don't know. Sports drink.
Punch.
The other thermos is full of coffee. Well, was full of coffee.
It's empty now, I bet.
It is not now.
And it wasn't me.
No, it was all me. It was all me this time. So. All right, what else we got, Jess?
Messy Laura says, CCI toilet spoon and toilet tongue workshop, mastering the U-bend.
How about how to get it in there?
Tobacco Maker says, wait, cell phone in the toilet tongs.
There you go. So let's give away some
stickers.
Let's give away some sticker packs, sticker
Sure.
bundles. Sorry I don't have them to show, but basically they are the Year of the Swage block. They've got a little animated Swage block on them. For those of you who have already won and got a bunch of our other stickers and you don't want those, you can, if you win again and you just say, hey, I just want the Year of the Swage sticker, that's fine. We'll ship that out to you, instead of the whole bundle or the pack. The bundle or the pack will actually come with our Christ Center Ironworks logo stickers and things like that. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and start dropping your comments and we'll get them shipped out. So let's go ahead and draw for the first one, Jess.
Sure.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
And all you got to do is comment, sticker me, or sticker me please, or sticker, or whatever. Something with sticker in the title.
Yep.
Ready?
Yes, we are.
Go. Who do we have?
We have possum sausage. Pick me and regift it. Okay.
Pick me and regift it. Okay, she's
All
got to
right,
regift
I shall regift. The regifting is going to GWI Railroad with stickers.
Congratulations. Is it GWI Railroad? Congratulations. You're the year of the Swage block sticker winder.
Sticker winner. Sounds like the beginning of a tongue twister.
That's a tongue twister.
It
All right,
is.
let's draw for another person, shall we?
Yep.
Who do we have?
Darth Vapor with stickers.
Dark Vapor. Congratulations. You got some stickers coming your way. Get with us through the contact email. You know how it's done. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sound good to you?
Yeah.
Who do we have?
We have Randy Lee with stickers.
Who is it?
Randy Lee.
Randy Lee with stickers. Congratulations, Randy Lee. You're another winner of the Year of the Swage Block sticker bundle. Please get with us through the contact email and we'll get it shipped right out to you. All right, so without further ado, this thing's hot. Let's go to the anvil, shall we?
All right, we shall.
Okay. Nice and hot. Set it on the anvil. Drop the little one out of the way. Go for the bigger one. Alrighty, there we have it. Now this particular one got off a little bit lopsided, more than I wanted. I think it came from the fact that the punch drove off to one side a little bit more when I actually went down through with the punch. And so this just kind of followed it to one side. That's not as much as I wish it wasn't like that, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna try to even out the flat a little bit. So maybe I can mask it a bit better. All right, looks good. I'm gonna brush this down real quick. Now, whenever you're going really heavy on the top side of something, you're going to develop a bow in that direction. Wherever this is sitting on the anvil, when you hit it on the top side, it's going to pop up like this from the ends. So you will have to reflatten this after every other heat or so, just to make sure that you're sitting flush and flat and you don't have any rock in your piece. Just like so. Alrighty. I think I will heat it and I will put a touch mark on the bottom of it. And then we'll let that cool a little bit. And we'll go into some other things on the channel here. What time are we looking at, Jess?
We are 7:03 p.m.
Sweet, we're just about right on time. So let me get this heated once. I'll put a touch mark in it. And then we will call that good, and we'll talk about a few other things here real quick before we wrap up. And we can't forget, we got a Swage block to give away, don't we?
We cannot forget. We saved the best for last.
Yeah. Arguably the best. What do you think?
Yeah. We also have a super chat and a question.
Uh-oh. All right, let's answer it.
Simeon asked, I'm thinking about applying for the internship program at CMA in Johnston, Pennsylvania. Do you know anything about them?
Yes, I know a little bit about them from my time out. I know a little bit about them. As far as can I give you a recommendation, or could I say they are great or they're bad or they're anything? I really can't comment on that just because I've never been out there to do anything with that. But I will say that any time that you can take an internship with experienced smiths that know more than you is going to be huge for your blacksmithing journey. It really will. I'm pretty sure. I think out there they hire some really talented people, and you know the internship you know, you're going to be exposed to a lot of really talented smiths. So I think it could be wonderful for you. Wonderful for you. As far as them as an organization, I have no dealings or otherwise, so I couldn't tell you that way. A lot of times, it's been my experience that as long as you don't mess with the higher ups of a place, generally speaking, your experience is pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Smiths draw other smiths, and you like smithing with other smiths because you all have that kind of like-minded focus around just the forge and the hearth. As where sometimes people in the larger organizations, they're more focused on the organization as a whole, in the back end stuff. So you run into some of those types sometimes. So I don't know anything on that particular place. So just keep your head down and learn as much as you can. Head down, ears open, you know, and I'm sure it'll be an amazing experience for you. What else, Jess?
They're starting to comment for the Swage block.
Oh, they're already commenting for the Swage block? Well, they can get over it. They can wait. I've actually, for this being a giveaway stream, I've actually done a pretty good job, I think, of answering quite a few questions. So,
you sure have.
which I'm happy to do. I'm glad that there's. Okay, that's where the tool is. I'm looking for the tool. It fell on the ground. If I don't watch it, it blends in with the other stuff around here. You drop a tool, and my shop floor is gray and dark. So you drop a gray and dark tool. Bye-bye. It goes bye-bye. All right, go to the anvil.
All right.
We're going to go ahead and stamp this.
Okie dokie.
With the good old-fashioned touch mark there. All right.
And someone asked if that's a touch mark you made or had made.
This is a touch mark that Thomas Goodymoot had made for me. So, and it was made by Buckeye Engraving, I believe. So, yeah, he had that made for me. So I'm super appreciative to Thomas for that. He just made it for me as a gift, just to be a friend. And those are the type of friends you want to have. All right. I like to brush this down in this time frame. This is where you can really develop a nice sheen on your material. Is about this temperature band here without doing a whole bunch of post-process work to it. Later on, you can just get it brushed down really nicely just using a hand brush. And I like to brush until it no longer makes scale. So we've dipped below the scaling heat. So we're good to go. And there's the touch mark. I'll let this cool down for a moment while we draw for the Swage block. And I get into a few of the other things. And then we will try the candles in it for fit and light them and see how it looks.
Sounds great.
We set this, need somewhere to pull heat. Put it right there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Questions?
Yes, Messy Laura asked if this is for the U.S. only. Yes, we are partnering with Holland Anvil to bring this to the community. And so it is open to the U.S. and Puerto Rico.
Yepers. My nose is running.
Yeah, well, I'm getting
It's
there
like
too.
30-something degrees out here right now.
Probably below 30 now.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to get colder, wasn't it, tonight?
Yeah.
So please excuse me for the gross display of...
So I have to brag, Roy got me a heated jacket, so I'm really enjoying it. It's very nice.
I was going to make her wait till Christmas. That's her Christmas present. I also got her new boots.
Yes.
Some muck boots that are good to negative 20 degrees. They can't see.
They can
They can't see.
Okay, how far? There we go. They can't see.
Are you in the background?
I am. I'm
Is that
in
what
the
it is?
background. They can see.
Can they see? It's a little dark.
Boots.
Here, let me up the...
Oh no, they could. Oh, okay. Go
Yeah,
again.
I mean, they couldn't see.
Okay. Yeah, they could kind of see.
There's her new
My
boots.
new boots, insulated boots.
I'm such a goofball.
Yeah, Roy is very bad at waiting until Christmas to give gifts. So even when this came in, like I didn't know what it was, but I'm like, you should wait. And he's like, I really don't think I should wait. So,
I just like giving stuff. I like giving stuff. It's part of my nature. I like giving stuff away. So. Oh, but anyways, let's see here. Are we about ready?
We are.
Well, yeah. So I do have a question while I have quite a few people here. Before we do it, well, I want to show off one thing. So just so people don't say I left you hanging, I ended up finishing the axe head that me and Thomas started working on a couple streams ago, right? So let's go to camera number 2 here.
All right.
Hopefully that's in focus. So I did end up finishing off that axe head. It's all heat treated now and ready to be handled. So can everybody see that all right?
Sure can.
I also did a video. I finished filming a video today. Hopefully we're in focus. I also finished doing a video today on fixing cracks using brazing. You know, it's kind of a historical method of, I guess, covering up bad work. You know, even way back in the day, they put little spot welds on stuff to hide things, right? That maybe didn't quite work out just right. So I do have a video that I just finished today that'll be coming out very soon on that. So I went ahead and finished up that beauty right there. So that's ready to be handled. So hopefully my son is going to enjoy that immensely. And then, was everybody able to see that just fine?
Yes, yes,
Like
we
it?
are.
And then also, we can go back to the main cam,
All right.
I guess. They see this? This has been in the background. So here's another piece. Can they see me okay, or is it bad?
Yeah, that's good. That'll
Can they
work.
see it okay? So went ahead and finished up this pot rack that we made, this viney pot rack. I attached this center column piece and wrapped the vine legs around it and went ahead and finished up all the hooks to hang your pots and pans off of. Got that done as well. Just trying to finish up some of these little projects that I've had laying in a pile of sorts. I told you all that it was going to be kind of a little bit fiddly bit. I've done videos on wrapping before on the channel, and so if you want to know how that's done, you can go check that out there. I was going to try to do this in a live stream, but it just kind of didn't fit. I already had the other stuff. I just needed to wrap it and get it done with. So one thing I am thinking about doing is auctioning this off, doing kind of an auction type deal. If people are interested in doing something like that, you know, starting with like a really low beginning bid, you know, a really low reserve bid, and that way give people a chance to buy it that are part of the community at a lower cost. Because once it goes on the website, it goes for my shop rate, which is a lot higher.
If you lower
a lot
it down
higher price. So,
lower it down to camera 2 so they can see.
Lower
the
down
flow
to camera
of the detail.
2? I don't know if I can fit it.
That right there, that works.
Can fit it in the frame. Can they see it there?
Yeah.
So there you go. We got all that done. Your viney little hooks and stuff, they all come off of there. Put them back on.
Don't lose your hooks.
Yep, so you see how that all goes together like that. So yeah, so I'm thinking about doing like a little auction here, maybe on the stream, if there's enough interest in it. If not, then I just put it on the website. So, and it'll just sit up there for sale. There you go. All right, go back here. Let the people speaketh their minds, if any of them actually have interest in owning that sort of thing.
Okay.
But
We've had 3 looks goods kind of comments, and everybody else is commenting about the Swage block.
yeah, nobody cares. Okay, good enough. Good to know. We will head on with the Swage block. Shall we? Shall we draw for it?
Yes.
Shall we do this thing that we do? This is the 11th Swage block that we've given away in the year of the Swage block. Been a true blessing to be able to do that. We all started with not knowing how this year was going to take off and do. Didn't know how last year was going to do. Things got real tight there to do the year of the anvil, and just to have a huge blessing of Holland Anvil to come along and partner with us to do the year of the Swage this year. That's been a huge help, and you know, just a major blessing to the channel. And I hope it's blessed a lot of people out there. So if you don't win this Swage block, there's one more chance to win this Swage block and many other great gifts items at our great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway live stream that we will be doing in the month of December. But we'll go ahead and draw for this one now, and we're going to be giving away Swage block number 11. That's crazy. Been a long year.
Yeah.
Been a long year of interest. We ready?
Yes.
All right. Who do we have?
We have Cade T with Swage.
Cade T, congratulations. You are the winner of the Swage block there. You need to get with us through the contact email down in the description, and we will get that shipped out to you pronto when we can. Excuse me. What else, hon? Are they still commenting? They're still flying in? All
yes.
comments?
Yeah, I'm trying to read through, looking for regular comments.
Okay.
Like Royce said, we're going to have another one of these going on for our Great Christmas giveaway, right? And we're still working on the list of other giveaway items that we will be doing. If you've seen our most recent video that came out where I was personalizing a leather apron, I will be doing 2 of those for winners that we will be picking from the Great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway live stream. And those will definitely be on the roster too.
Yep. Lots of cool stuff. So we're the way it works with everybody's, super chats and, stuff, the money that we get every month for those, basically whatever we don't put out in that month for giveaway items, we end up saving for the next, so on and so forth, trying to build up enough capital there so this way we just keep this thing rolling. And that way it doesn't end up hitting the finances super hard when we have a tough month. And so we got some extra cash there that we're going to end up going around probably purchasing some other items from some of the different big stores, big box blacksmithing stores, I guess you would call it. Maybe even a few private makers or something like that. Try to commission a few things and get some really good items this year, for the giveaway. So, if you're watching this and you are a company that would like to partner with us to do the Great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway, you can always DM us. You always get with us, direct message us. All of our contact email is out there. We're not hard to find. Be sure to do so. Generally we like to have people, we haven't really had anybody get with us at the beginning of this month. Generally we like to start promoting at least a month ahead in advance, but there's still time to, promote it because let's see here, we've got the rest of this month.
Today is so it's exactly 1 month from today.
So it's exactly.
No, sorry. No, it's on the 17th, sorry. So less than a month from today.
So it's less than a month from today.
Yeah, because we're on the 19th of November right now.
Yeah. So it's not too late to partner and get your stuff in so this way we can get pictures of it, promotions and things like that. So if you're watching this and that's something you want to do, or if you're just an individual maker and hey, you want to make a hammer or make a pair of tongs or a punch and chisel set or whatever to within your capabilities to support the blacksmithing community at large and help build another brother or sister of the forge up, then get in contact with us and we'll see what we can do and get shipped out. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. I know I get started on it in October and everybody's like, "Rrr!" But so be it. I love Christmas. So I love giving stuff away, love doing good things, good works, and I hope everybody else enjoys that as well.
Dunce Monkey asked what size bar is the pot rack?
What's that?
What size bar is the pot rack?
The size bar of the pot rack is 1/2 inch round. It's 1/2 inch round material, and I'll double check that because I'm pretty sure it was. Yep, 1/2 inch round. Yep, 1/2 inch diameter round bar stock. The actual, the hooks themselves are 3/8 inch thick material. They could have been used, they could have been made a little smaller, but I wanted to start with something thick. That way I had a nice thick center, and I could draw out long, graceful tapers on both ends. So gives it a bit more volume, makes it a bit more substantial while still looking light. So.
Rob Huff says auction of the rack would be awesome, and the axe looks great.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, glad you like that. So, again, I hope the boy's going to like it. So, we got one person interested.
There's more.
in auctioning off the rack. So, huh?
Alan Murdoch says now that I don't need to keep spamming, the pot rack looks good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you like the pot rack. So, yeah, it is kind of interesting. That is interesting, right? It's hard not to spam because if you're on a lag or if you're on a slow internet service, your comment might not get posted until 30 seconds after the drawing's all over with. And so that could be a little bit frustrating and difficult sometimes to navigate that. But I'm thankful, super thankful for everybody who got in on that in comments. Oh. And then once it's over, it's over.
It is.
Oh, so this is probably still warm. We're going to see how warm it is. I'm going to see if I can put a little wax on it. A little bit of beeswax. A little beeswax finish. You can go to the anvil cam.
All right.
So this is working out nice. This is cool enough just to where the beeswax will start melting on it. I like that. So that's going to work out really good. Put this little beeswax finish on this. Whenever you're making candle products, I'm going to leave you kind of with this idea here. Whenever you're making things that you're going to have flame attached to them, be careful of what you use to coat them with. Beeswax is okay. It is wax. It's still flammable. But the idea of it is a candle's burning wax anyhow, so that's not a big deal. You want to watch paints or oils specifically in a situation like that because they can end up cooking off, catching fire pretty quick on you and destroying your piece and possibly burning down your home. So we don't want that to happen to anybody, right? So just be careful when using what you're coating a candlestick with. There's certain waxes and certain materials that basically catch fire easier than others, have a lower boiling point than others. But there you go. That's all waxed up. Nice. Mm. Just nice like. We'll go ahead and take this thing and we'll go ahead and cool it off real quick in the water just a bit. To help solidify everything. Just to where it won't melt our candles. That way we can showcase it off. Oh. Yeah, the one thing I was interested in about possibly doing, like with doing the auctioning off of the item we made in the live stream, is when I make something bigger like a pot rack. Are we at the main cam?
Yes, we are.
Okay. When I make something bigger like a pot rack, or I make something like a sign bracket, a garden hook, or something like that, something bigger, I can clearly sell that on my website for my wages, which is $100 an hour shop rate. I could make that. I know I can sell it for that. But I also realize that that kind of robs some of the people who gave me their time and attention on Friday nights, maybe even over the course of several months watching this whole thing come together. It kind of robs them of the opportunity, right? Because let's face it, my target audience on my website for clients and stuff is not blacksmiths, not the working man, right? That's not my target audience. And so I would like to just, since we're doing it as a group, as a project, it should go to the group, I think. Like, I think that makes it nice. And then, and it's a lower cost of entry, right?
Yep.
So putting something like $100 reserve just to kick it off, and then that's it. And whatever it goes for, on a bigger project item. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then that gives it, to whoever's interested in it. Might go for.
You had at least 6 people who said they'd be interested in it.
Okay. And again, they might give them $125 and that's it, and that's all it ends, and it might go for 100, and there she be. That's all it is. Either way, it went to somebody who's in the stream, right? Who spent the last week, 2 weeks, month of their life learning about this thing. So let me see here. All right, go to the camera number 2, Jess.
All right.
So these are the candles we're using. These are miniature candles. They make taller, skinny ones like this. These are just short ones. These are for an upcoming blacksmithing class I'm teaching down at Goshen, actually next week. We'll be teaching a Gifts from the Hearth class. And boom, there's the payoff.
Nice. Pretty cool.
Little candle action there.
I was going to say, if it's still hot, they might melt.
Yeah, it's still a little warm, but that's all right. It'll just help us make a good fit, right? Good seal. Right? There we go. That one's a little crooked. Shall we light it off?
Yes, we shall.
Make them look right.
Darth Vapor says he would gladly bid on anything that you make.
Well, good.
And Alan Murdoch says, I have 2 daughters that would like it for Christmas.
So we have it. We'll let those come up. It's pretty neat. Like I said, it's a simple centerpiece, but it makes quite the statement. And these type of projects, this isn't really my forte, right? Like I like really ornate stuff with like scrolls and leafy stuff and all those things. But this is totally within your wheelhouse for you to do. Go get you a chunky piece of steel. It don't even have to be this shape. Just something heavy enough that it'll just sit. It'll stay wherever you put it. And then punch you some big holes in it. Grab you some candles, and you've made a piece of art for your own table, for your family, you know, or who knows, or even to sell. So if you guys can see that all right, the blinding light. Let's turn this off. Maybe that'll do better.
There we go. More ambiance.
That's more ambiance,
Yeah, that's
more
nicer.
romantic.
Hayden LaBelle says simple but elegant and lots of personality.
Oh yeah. And like I said, when somebody comes up to your dinner table, they're sitting there with you for Thanksgiving or whatever, right? Or Christmas, sitting there, they're like, or a special occasion, they're like, whoa, hey, that's different. Where'd you get that at, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just not going to go find that at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. That's the coolest thing about being a blacksmith, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So there you have it. Simple. I was able to run my mouth a whole lot and get that done in 2 hours. In my shop, regular time, with my power tools, this is probably 15 minutes max for me. Mm-hmm. But without power equipment, you could probably figure about 30 minutes to an hour if you weren't running your mouth. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Maker says, Roy made a holy bar.
A holy bar. That's what it is. It's holy. Both literal, very literally, a holy bar.
Travis Wolf says, I would love a chance at the pot rack. It's beautiful.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if there's any interest, we can do that now. If anybody wants it, or we can wait until next stream or something.
It sounds like there's enough interest.
If there's interest, so.
Yeah, I think enough people are interested.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, and another great thing about doing the auctioned off of things that we've made in the streams to the people who are in the streams. Not only does that again give you a shot at buying some of my ironwork and having it in your home. I've had a lot of people say they wanted that, right? I've had a lot of people say, I'd like to own something of yours, but it's way too expensive. And I get it. It's way too expensive for my blood too, but I'm making it, right? Like I'm making it for somebody else's blood that's way above mine. Not only does that, but it's also something that I can target my focus on certain things that I need around the shop or whatever improvements that I need to do. Like one thing we're going to need to get here soon is a second mode of transportation. So the little black Jeep from the Jeep Thoughts videos, it's still going strong. Love it. I love that little black tugboat. That thing's just great. It goes anywhere. It's went everywhere. But my children, they've grown. So I'm going to have to get a much bigger vehicle at some point. So that's what I'm saving for now. Oh, it's like looked at them in the back the other day while we were on a trip, and
They all like to carry bags.
They're
with
all
them.
like, here's their knees, you know. It's like in the back of the thing. And it's like,
Their bags in their laps.
yeah, they all got to carry their bags in their laps. And I'm like, you've grown or something. What happened here? I don't like this. Stop that. That's how kids work, right? They just grow bigger.
So we have 3 bids already.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Down Under Farm and Forge started with bidding $100.
Thank you, Down Under Farm and Forge.
And then Rob Huff bid $150. And Hayden LaBelle bid $160 for the rack.
Okay. And this is all for the rack, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool.
And Homefront Forge bid $170.
170. So is that the highest so far?
Yep.
170? Okay, well, we'll let it go for a few more moments there. And then I'll ring my anvil like a gavel. And then that'll be sold. That way it's not going on all night long there.
Tinker at Forge says, I can't afford it myself, but I would love to see it go to somebody in the community. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, and I was thinking about that because we make some really cool stuff in the streams. And a lot of times the stuff I make in the streams really wouldn't fit my regular client base that I would normally try to market to or whatever. So might as well, you know, if we make tools or something in the stream, you know, for the ones that we don't give away, might as well auction them off and support the stream and, you know, somebody gets them. Right?
Yep.
So that way it's not, you know, maybe we'll do a decorative hammer at some point during the streams. And again, we can just do like an auction off of it right there in the stream, you know, when it's all finished up. And that way it's within reason for people. You know, it's obtainable.
I need an auctioneer's voice.
You need an auctioneer's voice?
Let's see. Rob Huff bid $180. Down Under Farm and Forge $190. Hayden LaBelle $200. Homefront Forge $210. Down Under Farm and Forge $220. Rob Huff $250. Down Under Farm and Forge says, Rob, you're killing me.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Homefront Forge says $255.
That's funny. See, I couldn't be an auctioneer, you know. I couldn't be an auctioneer. It's like definitely not on my own work. Couldn't do that.
They definitely have that like rhythmic, you know.
Yeah,
like
well, they have that. Well, they have that for a reason. It's
Yeah.
to get you to overbid on something.
You're like,
Right?
oh, what's going on here? What did I just
It's
agree
to get you to fight with somebody else with money. To take cash balls and throw them at each other, right? Like that's what an auctioneer's
I'm
there
gonna
for.
beat you down.
They're like, oh yeah, we'll take that. Oh yeah, we'll take that. You know. Meanwhile, the auctioneer's like, oh, I get 15% of this. Yeah.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. So, but anywho, so while people do that, and so I'm not standing here with my jaw in my mouth and teeth in my gums.
Gonna show off.
Yeah, I'll show off some of the things we'll be teaching in the class that's upcoming here this upcoming week. And for those that are still interested in that, so I am going to be doing a class on this, making one of these candeliers, showing how that's done. This lit by the other candles, and showcase it. So we'll be forging that in class. I'm probably going to forge one of these in class as well. One of these little things here, showcase that, and then also a candle snuffer, to where you're going to toot, put out your candles. You go camera number 2.
Yep.
Toot. A little candle snuffer. I'm going to show maybe a couple different versions of this thing. You know, just show off different versions of the same thing. So we'll be doing one of these. What's funny is I look in the little side view mirror thing, but that doesn't tell me where my belly button is, right? Or arm. Like, am I rotisserie my arm right now? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing that in class. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We'll show how to make candlesticks and little lighting motifs and motifs all sorts of stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun class. We might even do some more of these for the live streams. I think that would be fun. Some more lighting implements if you guys would be interested for the upcoming live streams in December. But save that for something later. Good to go. And the reason for the candle snuffer, by the way, is so this way you're not doing like I did and I'm spitting the wax off into oblivion there.
Nicholas, the guy who won the Swage block, says, loves the stream. Roy and Jess, you do great work, but I have exams to study for. Have a great night.
Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you for being here. Congratulations on the win of the Swage block. Please get with us through the contact email. So that way we can get the information to where to ship it to. Oh.
Down Under Farm and Forge said 260, Jess. I believe that's our current highest bid. Alan Murdoch said, I liked it, but I can't afford to go that high.
Okay.
So 260.
260. Should we make that a going once?
Yeah, we can. You have to do it slow for the video.
Yeah.
It'll be like, space out like 30 seconds.
260 going once. Going twice.
Slow rattle.
260 going twice. Are we at the main cam? Where are you?
There you go.
What are you doing?
The hammer rattle.
And see anything else? No?
Nope.
Last chance, Rob. And sold. Sold to
Down Under Farm and Forge.
Darren over Down Under Farm and Forge. Thank you so much for the purchase, sir. DM us and we'll get in contact with you and work out all the shipping and all that other good stuff. So everybody give a round of applause, Darren, or Down Under Farm and Forge. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, you should. It's a really neat channel. He does all sorts of homesteading stuff over there in Australia. He's enjoying warm weather right now. Or so I'm told, or so I think. Oh, but yeah, he won this beautiful pot rack. There we go. Camera 2. Camera 2 it.
Camera 2.
He won the beautiful pot rack. Put the light on it. Showing off so many things in the same frame. I hope it brings you many years of great service there, Darren. Oh. Feel free to fix any of my mistakes or shortcomings. Oh. All right. Well, I think that's good. I think that's a wrap. What do you think, hon?
Yep. Yep.
So good? Mm-hmm. Everybody happy with that?
Yep.
Everybody satisfied?
The Baka Maker says, well done for an impromptu auction.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, yeah, I just came up with that idea yesterday, literally. Like literally yesterday. And I kind of came up with it and then I told Jess about it today. So very impromptu. Mm-hmm. I just noticed I finished it. I literally finished it yesterday. And then I just put the wax on it now. You know, put beeswax on it, finished the thing out. And I was, again, yesterday I was thinking of like, you know, instead of putting this on the site, this really should go to people who spend all that time watching, right? At least give them a crack at it. So, so that works out well.
Possum Sausage says you should do an auction more often.
It's very low stress auction, very low stress auctioneering. So there was a good bidding war going there too, there for a minute. So maybe at the next live stream, just so this way I can keep this for the purposes of teaching the class. Maybe at the next live stream we'll auction this off and do a little lower bidding price or whatever for people who want to give that as a gift. Yeah. That way we can get it to them before Christmas. Yeah,
that's
you know what I mean?
Idea. Yeah.
No. If anybody's interested in that next live stream, we'll auction off this little candle thing. If that sounds good to you. Are we at the main camera?
We were, yeah. I went back to B-roll.
Boom, B-roll.
B-roll.
We'll auction that off in the next live stream unless people are saying, no, we want it now. But you'll have to wait until after my class because I'm taking this to my class first as an illustrative point.
Possum Sausage said it adds to the fun for people that stick around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can start doing those at like the end, you know? It's like for the people who stick around, for the diehards,
Oh yeah.
for the diehard supporters, right? All right, cool. All right, well, I think that's going to be it for tonight. Let's call it. I don't want to run over too late. I mean, we're probably already an hour over.
7:40. Yeah, we're close.
7:40. Hey, we're doing better. You know, it's not quite 3 hours. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everybody who's joined the stream. Thank you so much for everyone who bid in the auction, everyone who, you know, stayed around for all the free gifts and the things like that. Thank you for everyone who supported us in that to help us with the shipping and all that good stuff. And, you know, huge thank you to everybody who brought some really good questions. That makes these streams so much more colorful and vibrant than just the forging alone, because the community has questions and being able to answer those colorful questions is great. It really is. It really brings a lot of spice to the streams, I think.
It does.
Especially when you sashay me over into a rant mode.
All the toilet bowl jokes.
Yeah, all the toilet bowl
toilet
jokes.
spoon.
So, thank you for those. We greatly appreciate each and every last one of you. We hope God blesses you this upcoming week, and until we see you at the December
And
live stream.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, have a happy Thanksgiving. See, I'm already on to Christmas. My Christmas brain is bad.
Yeah.
So like, we're going to have a Merry Christmas. And they're like, it's Thanksgiving next week. Yeah, how can I forget? Good food. Stuff yourself with turkeys or whatever your...
Multiple turkeys.
multiple turkeys, tofurkeys, whatever you're into. Do it. You do you. So, thank you all. God bless each and every last one of you. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching.